Hey guys, we're going to be upgrading the rear sway bar links on this 2011 Honda CR-V, and we will be using the TTX line from Mevotech. These are Terrain Tough Extreme, and honestly, they are pretty much the sickest sway bar links you could find on the market. So here's the link. It's ultra beefy. It's got that like military color, super sealed, and I love how they have like the little notches in the side of the stud to keep it from spinning. But these are a totally greasable joint with oversized sockets, so they're really beefed up. Probably the last sway bar link you'll have to buy for your vehicle. Obviously, they're going to give you grease fittings and new hardware to go with it. And they include a wrench in the kit as well, just to help you install these. So without further ado, let's get to installing them. By the way, if you do buy these, they are left and right specific. So for the left side, you're going to want these ones, which are TXMS 60843, and for the right side, sorry, you're going to want TXMS 60842. So these are going to be not too bad to change. This is on the a front wheel drive model, so we don't have a rear diff or axles in our way. But to start, you're basically just going to get the vehicle jacked up, and then we're going to pull a wheel to gain access. So you should have 5 19mm wheel nuts. Let's remove those. Once you get all 5 off of there, you can pull the wheel off. And we'll get some light in there so you can take a look. There's our joint located right here. And it looks like we've got a couple nuts here. That's all we need to take off. Now you can see the exposed threads that are sticking out. It's a good idea to try to clean those up the best that we can. That's going to help us get this off. Also, these nuts have a nylon insert in them that helps as a thread locker to keep the nut from backing off. So it's just going to be an additional resistance to fight against when we try to take these off. So I'm going to get a drill with a wire wheel on there, and we're going to just try to clean these up the best we can and then spray them down with some lube. Okay, once you get those cleaned up, just hit them with some penetrating oil, both studs, top and bottom. And then what you're going to want to do is get yourself set up with the proper sockets. I thought they were 14, but looks like they're bigger. Okay, so we need 16mm sockets for both top and bottom nuts. I've got a straight, deep 1/2" 16, and also I have a swivel 16. We're using 1/2" drive. We want to really pack a punch to try to get these off. And I've also got some needle nose vice grips. Now, usually what happens here, we go to take these off, the nut will usually come somewhat loose, but won't come all the way off, and then it just ends up spinning the stud. So that's where the needle nose vice grips come into play. I'm actually just going to put those on right now before we try to loosen these off. So simply loosen off your vice grips. You're going to stick them on whichever way you can get in here. Looks like we've got quite a bit of access going in this way. And then what you want to do is try to get a really good clamp on that stud. Okay, let's try to get that nut off now. So you can see we almost got that off, but the stud is starting to spin. So we can try a couple things. We'll try to go back on and back off a couple times. That sometimes does the trick. If yours is just spinning and spinning and spinning, you're gonna have to just try to get the vice grips to bite and keep tightening them down. Worst case scenario, you could always just cut them off. Let's try to get the bottom off now. Now there isn't as much room underneath the way the frame is designed, so we're going to have to just use the tip of the vice grips now. Once again, get the best clamp you can on that stud for the best chance of having it not spin. And we almost got it off. We just need to readjust. I need a light. Well, I guess these do have sides on them. Okay, so that one put up a little bit of a fight. You can see these ones actually do have slots in the side of them, but a lot of them don't. So now that that's out, we're pretty much ready to install our new sway bar links. Might not be a bad idea to clean up these surfaces here where the rubber boot meets up against, just to give us an optimal seal. Okay, so before we put these in, let's install these grease fittings because that's going to make our life a lot easier. Just simply line up the threads with the threads. I always like to try to hand start them first, and they should be 8mm. Something like that. They don't have to always bottom out, but you know, in there pretty snug. It's not like these things are gonna fall out, but then we're gonna just do the same on the other side. Remove the cap. Hand start. Something to about there. And then these come pre-greased, so it's not a big deal if you don't have grease. Just maybe sometime down the road in the future when you get an oil change done, you can have somebody grease these up when it's in for service. Now we've got our new nuts. You can see the nylon that's in the end of those that act as a thread locker. So now let's get this installed and we'll start those nuts. Position this so that the grease fitting's out this way. You can put them backwards so that the grease fitting is the other way, but that's not very convenient for the guy that's servicing this, so just keep that in mind. Then we're going to simply pass these through the hole, and you may need to lift up a little bit on the sway bar in order to get those studs to line up with the holes. Hand start the nuts. Okay, the factory fasteners are actually the TTX ones are actually 15mm nuts, but we're just gonna run these down. These are so nice to run down that I'm actually just doing this by hand with the nylon in them. And then we're gonna torque both of these to 30 foot-pounds. Okay, I've got my torque wrench set up. Let's do this top one first. Then we'll do this bottom one. And that's pretty much it. Like I say, you could pump some grease into them if you want, but they do come pre-greased, so that's nice. But that's pretty much it. Now all we got to do is install the wheel. Okay, once you get the wheel on, hand start all of the wheel nuts, and then you're just going to tighten them down in a 5-star pattern. Do 2 passes, and you'll want to torque these down to 80 foot-pounds. I personally put them to 100, but that's just my preference. The manual says 80 from Honda. Then after about 60 miles or 100 kilometers of driving, you should re-torque the wheel nuts just to ensure that they are torqued. But that's pretty much how to remove and replace the rear sway bar links on your 2011 Honda CR-V. I believe it's probably the same process for all-wheel drive as it is front-wheel drive. You're just going to have that axle shaft's going to be in your way a little bit, so you might need a little different setup on tools. But that is the TTX link, and like I say, it's pretty much the beefiest, strongest link that's available on the market. These things are extremely overkill. Probably never have to change them ever again. So if you have any questions, throw them in the comments. I'll try to answer them the best that I can. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, if you want any links on TTX parts or looking for other parts for your vehicle, you can go to mevotech.com. Check them out. Thanks for watching.